Look around environmentalist YouTube and you'll find countless videos of YouTubers showing their zero waste hacks, zero waste morning routines, and zero waste pledges.
And welcome to another sustainability video.
I make videos about living a sustainable and more intentional life, live a low plastic vegan lifestyle.
Today's video is on how to live with less waste.
So do you notice something in common between all of these videos? Women are leading the conversation on zero waste. Women are still responsible for the majority of household tasks. And we as a society are talking more and more about emotional labor. Is the zero waste movement putting more pressure onto women to take even more chores and more responsibilities in the household to be eco-friendly? Let's back up a bit. China is no longer taking our recyclables. There's a giant garbage patch in the middle of the Pacific. Whales are dying from bellies full of plastic.
We can't, there's no fish anymore. All the plastic is filling up in the ocean. There's like one rhinoceros left.
So everyone's talking about this zero waste movement, including yours truly.
Today I'm going to talk about the 25 things that I got rid of.
It's a really good movement in general to help reduce our personal ecological footprint. Now let's look at the demographic of the zero waste movement. So almost all, I'm not going to say all, almost all zero waste influencers on YouTube and on Instagram are female. Hannah McNeely shows a day into her life as a wannabe zero waster, including how she buys her groceries, brushes her teeth, and gets away with using as little plastic as possible. Why is it that the movement to keep our oceans free of plastics seems to be led almost entirely by women influencers? Why is it falling onto the shoulders of women to be more eco-friendly? Why are men not publishing blogs on how to make chemical-free cleaners and how to shop using mason jars instead of plastic bags? Men do on average 50% less housework for women for a big variety of different reasons. And during these domestic tasks is where most of the household trash is produced. So that's things like eating, cooking, hygiene, grocery shopping. So this brings in another concept known as second shift. So this is a little bit tied in with emotional labor. So second shift refers to the work that women do in the household after they're done with their everyday work and their full-time job. So women are now expected to work full-time jobs. They often will face this second shift when women get home from work and they are tasked with taking care of the majority of the household chores like grocery shopping, childcare, cleaning, cooking. So that's not to say that men don't do any chores, but in general, like I said, men do 50% less household tasks than women. Many women who are actually zero wasters say that their partner is not very enthusiastic about zero waste, and it's really hard to convince someone not only to help you out with these household tasks that aren't being done to begin with, go one step further and to do it all zero waste. So now you're imposing all of these rules, and so sometimes women just feel, you know what, it's just going to be easier if I do it all myself, so just don't even worry about it, I'll do it all. So then even more is really falling onto the shoulders of women who control the majority of the household tasks.
There are times when she feels lonely in this responsibility to her family.
Many women find in order to keep their home zero waste, they now have to do all of the shopping, cleaning, making household cleaners, and research, otherwise it just won't get done. So by societies pushing the zero waste movement more and more and being more eco-friendly, does that create more guilt on women because things maybe aren't being done perfectly? So now not only do you have mom guilt, dirty house guilt, but now you have the ecological guilt that because you didn't make the zero waste deodorant, now you are causing the death of sea turtles because you can't be perfect environmentally. There is even more now going on to this mental load that many women carry. So some of the reasons why women even were able to enter the workplace in the 1950s, 1960s was due to the invention of all of these new amazing TV dinners, appliances, plastic wrapped treats, We had this huge shift towards processed food during that time because it's quick, easy, fast for women to just get that out on the table and still have time to actually enter the workforce, but still take care of their children.
They take you away from the everyday to a world where the food makes you want to stay.
Those real sensational
International frozen dinners from Swanson.
In a lot of ways, the single-use packaging was actually beneficial to women for getting out of the house and into the workplace. So it makes sense that when you start taking that away, it's going to create much more time and much more labor on the backs of people who are running their own household to try to make up for all the convenience that this single-use packaging gives you. If you think about it, all these zero waste hacks like homemaking cleaners was once really the domain of a 1950s housewife who had all day to do these sort of household tasks. It's now shifted back, so you have to be that 1950s housewife and make all of your own things, do all your own canning. And if you don't do that and work a full-time job, then you are hurting the planet. So that's where this whole idea of zero waste as more of a guilt, eco-anxiety type of thing comes into play. To be zero waste often means you're carrying around a lot of things. So what I mean is you got your reusable straws, your glass containers with your lids, you have all your reusable bags. Many men who are just the type that's like phone, wallet, keys, are not going to be carrying around a big bag full of all of these eco-friendly tools, but a lot of women carry purses. So even the physical load is sometimes being brought to women to carry all of these extra little accessories for being zero waste. There's also a lot of resistance from men for being more ecologically sustainable. So there's actually an article that was just published in Scientific American where men see the whole going green and the zero waste movement as feminine and unmanly and are therefore resistant to that. That makes no sense at all. Of course, I'm talking to many men on my channel who I acknowledge are very environmentally friendly, and I'm not saying that this is your type, but I'm talking about the general overall American, North American, Western public could have these sort of ideas about the movement. Men tried to bring in their environmentally sustainable side in different ways. A lot of men tend to champion the whole field of sustainable housing. Building sustainable homes, building tiny homes tends to be the domain of men. Also, a lot of men say, I'm gonna go child-free and not have a child, and therefore that is my way of being more eco-friendly, which is totally fair. It's just a different way of going about it. All of this comes down to, is there a lot of pressure on women to have it all? The perfect life, the Instagrammable boyfriend, the Instagrammable home, and saving the planet too? All of this on the shoulders of women? Yeah, I think so. I think that there is a lot of pressure on women to kind of maintain all of that. But I think also a bit of it is women tend to be a little bit more hyper-focused on perfection. I'm not a perfectionist at all, but many women are focused on not only doing it all, but doing it all perfectly. I think there's a little bit where we can relax a bit, and maybe everything might not look perfect all of the time, but we're still getting as much done that's possible. And of course, you know, the answer to this too is men taking over more household tasks or separating things where it makes a bit more sense so everyone has the same amount of free time and that no one's doing too much of one type of task in the household. The whole reason behind this might be women are often left out of positions of power. We know that way less women are CEOs and high-level executives than men. So maybe the zero waste movement is our way of making a difference within the world and the realm that we can. So if the household is what we're in charge of, then let's make our difference with the means and the tools that we have available.
Those who sell and all who manufacture what is sold know that American women often have the deciding voice in whatever we come to buy.
That's something. And you know, maybe you can't change the oil and gas industry because you're not the CEO of Shell, but you can do these little things. And I really appreciate that. And I think that that's a really nice way of looking at it too. So overall, I don't have a good answer to this question. Is there something that we can do better in the zero waste movement to better spread the load of labor across men and women? If you totally disagree with me, also let me know in the comments below. I want to leave you with one thought though on this topic, and it's we don't need a small amount of people doing zero waste perfectly. We need a lot of people doing it imperfectly. And I think that's kind of the words that I want to leave you on. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to see more videos about environmental topics and looking at things from a different lens from the perspective of an environmental scientist, subscribe to my channel below and follow me on my social media at veganbelow0.